Shit 90 Shows Taught Me.
Shit 90 Shows Taught Me was not filmed before a live studio audience.
Are you ready to make out in the snow? So are we. Welcome back to Shit 90 Shows Taught Me. I'm Jess Sterling, here with my co-host. Your name is Adam on the screen.
Oh, look at me.
I just looked at it. That is hilarious. Sara Humphrey is here, not Adam Humphrey.
Yeah. So we
have. Oh wait, you usually go by Sarah H, don't you? Do I usually say your full last name?
Never. You always say my full last name. Yes.
Oh, thank God. I'm off to a really rocky start this podcast.
It's all good. So I don't even know how to change it while we're recording.
I can change
so
it.
Basically, we got some like work done on the house this week. Space like some like the siding needed to have some touch ups. They painted some stuff, but they also like ripped out Adam's bathroom and kind of, well, not his whole bathroom, just the shower walls. So basically Adam had to get kicked out of his room. He's been grumpy all week. He's been a monster.
Are they done now? Are they done with
they're done. It was quick. I mean, like, honestly, it was like not that much of an inconvenience, but he does not like it when people that he doesn't know are around him. So I'm like always bopping.
You find out everything about them while they're in your house.
Like ideally.
You offer them lemonade, you offer them iced tea.
Yeah, the nugget
cookies,
ice maker.
Nugget.
Yeah, I was like, please have my nugget
They're
ice.
Like, would you like some lemonade? I do have nugget ice.
I know. I'm like, I have nugget ice, like the Chick-fil-A ice. Like, I'm very proud about the nugget ice maker, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So he was just very grumpy because like there was like people, around. But he had to like podcast in our room, or no, in my room, because his room stunk of like epoxy or whatever.
Whatever they were using. Yeah.
He would have stayed there, gotten high. Maybe it would have put him in a better mood, or worse.
It's possible.
I don't know, or worse. Maybe probably would have gotten a migraine out of it. So that's it. But yeah, they had to fix the fence because like we had some windy wind and like the fence fell over. It's pretty ugly, the fence, but whatever. What are you gonna do? Adam
paint it, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I could paint it. Yeah. Adam wanted, when the fence fell over, he literally wanted us to like cut the fence in half, like horizontal wise, so that they would be
so it's shorter.
No, because he wanted to force it into them replacing the entire fence instead of fixing it. And I was like, I don't want to get in trouble by the landlord.
Yeah, you don't want to start stuff with your landlord because that could be a slippery slope.
We rent our house. I want to buy it, but whatever.
That house?
I love this house. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. We're already off topic anyway. I went to a book sale this morning. So our local library does like an annual little fundraising book sale thing.
Library book sale. Yeah.
I do too. But what I don't like is when we have inclement weather and it forces said book sale to be inside because they're in teeny tiny rooms. And I went at 10 a.m. Okay. 10 a.m. on the dot. When they open, I'm pulling in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Mobbed. Everyone in my neighborhood was like, I also will go at 10 a.m.
Wow.
And nightmare. Absolute nightmare. The reason I was even going, because I have enough books that I haven't read yet. You know what I mean? Like, I really shouldn't be adding to my collection. But I have a few different baby showers that I have to go to. Soon.
Yeah.
And one of them is doing the like buy a book instead of a card, which I love, by the way. I'm very pro book instead of card because 9 times out of 10 you're going to toss the card. At least a book, brings value. So I was very excited about this. So I thought, okay, I'll go to the book sale and that's where I'll buy the kids' books, right? Like perfect. It's a little kids' book. All the kids' books were in one room, and this room, I've not felt as claustrophobic as I felt in this room since I was in Disney.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It was so packed in there. It was hot. It's a warm day where I live. It was hot. I don't even know what I'm looking for. You know what I mean? Like I don't it's not like I'm going with like a specific book in mind. So I'm just like picking up, and I got out of there within 10 minutes. I couldn't even be in there any longer. I bought 3 books for $3.
$3.
And I got the heck out of there.
Nothing else. Okay. What
Nothing else.
books?
Honestly, don't even know. There was one with a dog on it.
Yeah.
There was one that taught colors, which I thought was good because
Mhm.
it's teaching things.
Mhm.
And there was one about this little girl who's like raised by wolves that I mostly bought because I thought the illustrations were like really cool.
Mhm.
So yeah, one of those will be going to our mutual friend Brenna for
Is
her.
it a dog book?
I haven't decided, but I was leaning in that direction. Yeah. One of them will be going to my cousin, and then one I will give to my mom to give to my cousin because she asked me to check for her.
Okay.
So, but I mean, very pro this. If you are like again, I know I complain a lot about having to go to baby showers and stuff, but like truly, if you are having a baby shower or know someone that is, I think this is a great trend, the book instead of card thing.
Yeah.
I'm very pro this. So do it. Why not? Especially
Yeah.
because children's books you can usually find for pretty cheap, either at garage sales or book sales, anything like that. They're usually not that expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Books.
anyway,
Love a
that's my
book.
morning.
Love a library book sale.
I've been reading a lot of books lately. Yeah.
Really? You're so literary.
I get into, you know how I am. It's like I'll spend like 3 months reading and reading and reading, and then I fall off and I don't read for 6 months. And then, it's like I'll finish a book in 2 days and then I'll stop reading for weeks.
Wait, you gotta tell me about your new mosaic hobby.
Oh, yes. So of course, as most things, it started on TikTok where this one artist I was following started doing mosaics, and I was like, I feel like I could do this. This is how it starts there. This is what happens with my brain where I get that little itch of like, I could do that.
Yeah.
Because confidence isn't always a good thing. Okay, folks. It's not, it leads you into some decision making that maybe you shouldn't do. So I was like, I could do this. So then I thought, well, if I was in like Five Below, and they had like an outdoor little table thing for $5. And I didn't really care about the table aspect because, it's $5. Like it's very cheap, but it was metal. It's like an outdoor table. And the top was like a removable tray. And so I thought, I could mosaic that. Like that's easy enough, right?
Oh, okay. So it didn't come with the mosaic tiles. It was just
no. I bought the mosaic tiles. So then, of course, I went a little overboard.
Yeah, where are you getting mosaic tiles from?
So I got it from mosaicartsupply.com. That's where I got all my tiles.
Okay.
So got a shit ton of tiles, tried it out, really liked it.
You have that little tile cutter?
I do. Yeah.
That's
I got it from my dad. I didn't buy that, luckily.
Your
my
dad had it?
Okay. My dad, again, the older I get, the more I realize I'm exactly like my dad, and that he too will like randomly start a hobby and get a bunch of supplies for it. So he already had tile cutters. Of course, he's also a contractor. So
thanks, Jeff.
Yes, thanks, Dad. So I did that one, and then I thought, well, what if I made something? I wanted to do practice ones, right? Because this is all leading up to, and my parents, none of my family listens to this podcast, so I can say whatever I want. I'm making my dad a mosaic for Father's Day, and I know he'll love it. And I want to make it's going to be very like floral, very like wildflowers, sort of a thing, matte tiles, not glossy, but I want to lead up to that. I need practice. So I thought, okay, well, I'll make Will a Mets mosaic because he loves the Mets.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I didn't like it because it's the Mets, but I liked it.
Yeah. He loves the Mets. They're doing very well this season. So I made him a Mets mosaic.
They beat the Cubs 2 out of 3 times, which
they did.
Very much upset my household.
I'm sure it did. My household was very excited. I could tell. I know when things are going good or bad with the Mets. Let me just tell you that much. I can tell.
He gets in a stink attitude.
Yeah. It's not fun to be around, but so I made him that. Next up is going to probably be the mosaic for my father, which I'm going to take my time with. And I really want it to be nice. And I think he'll like it because I think he'd appreciate that sort of a thing.
Yeah.
So that's up next. But yeah, that's my latest hobby. And I'm sure in 6 months I won't be doing it anymore. But for the time being, I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, number one, like you're very creative. You're actually like 10 times more creative than I am, and I'm in like an artistic field. I really do think so. I just like don't come out with shit. You know what I mean? I'm not crafting stuff. I couldn't
Yeah.
care less because I don't like stuff really.
I think part of it is when I'm doing stuff with my hands, it gives my brain like less time to think. Like when I was going through really bad patches of anxiety, I was watercoloring like every single day. And that was like the only thing that seems to like give my brain some relief because I was so focused on something else. So it's a good thing, but then of course it cuts both ways because I just lose interest so quickly and I wish I
Yeah.
didn't. But the watercolor
I
thing
do
I've
that
kept
too.
up with for the most part, I will say. Like I still do watercolor. If I need to make a card for someone for some sort of event, I
Right.
usually will watercolor it. I've actually gotten into a very fun little thing of like I'll send my niece a watercolor thing and then she sends me like a drawing back.
Aw,
And it was very sweet. So now I have to make her another one. But
that's cute.
it's because she's also like very, very creative. Like she
Yeah.
is really good at drawing. Like truly for
Really?
like a 10-year-old, I feel like she's very talented. Yeah.
Mhm. Very
So
nice. Very nice. Yeah.
anyway, do you want to talk about Felicity? Maybe we should.
I've been into gardening. I'm like
Yeah,
outside
how is
most
your
of the time.
gardening going? How are your
It's good.
tomatoes doing?
We're doing okay. There's no tomats in sight quite yet, but we're doing good.
When is the ripening season? Like when does that happen? Soon?
Maybe July, August.
Oh, okay. Because I
I think
know
we're a bit early.
strawberries are June, right? I'm trying to remember from when I was a kid. I think
Yeah,
strawberries are June.
maybe. I don't know. It
Well, that's
comes when it
exciting.
comes, honestly.
You can't rush it, and as long as things are
Yeah.
growing, who
Yeah.
cares?
I go outside, I look at them, I water them, I leave them. That's
Yeah. Do
about
you have a
it.
watering can? Or
No,
you have a hose?
I have a
Hose.
host. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just curious. I could just picture you with your
Yeah.
little watering
I mean,
can.
maybe if I found that today at the garage sales, I would have
That
bought
is a good pickup at a garage sale for
it.
sure.
No. No.
Yeah.
All right, Felicity, season 4, episode whatever, 12.
11. We are 11 minutes
11.
into the podcast and we're on season 4, episode 11. A
Boom.
perfect match.
Yeah.
Where do we want to start off? With today's-
Javier.
Yeah, let's start with Javier and his video dating.
Yeah, this was really interesting.
So fun.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of like that Javier has an adult friend now that is like, I don't know, equally bad at love as him. Do you remember her name? I'm sorry for
Rita.
not Rita. Okay. I Rita. Okay, so Rita and Javier
Mhm.
they are both single now. I can't believe he's not with Samuel anymore. I kind
This
of
is
feel
insane.
yeah, I kind of feel like a little like disgruntled about that, but it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. So
Yeah.
they're like, we need to get back onto the market. And there's no apps back then, right? Like
No.
maybe a sniff of a match.com, maybe, or like an eHarmony, but
I think that the video dating is like one step towards apps.
yeah. I think
or
so too.
match.com. But
Yeah.
I remember, and I don't recall, Sarah, like which show this was on, but I definitely remember watching a show where they were like going through videotapes of like
Mhm.
potential love options.
What's a Millionaire Matchmaker, perhaps?
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
I've
Okay.
watched a lot of television in my lifetime. So
Yeah. So they I like this concept, especially in a world where there's no apps. I famously have never really gotten the opportunity. It's not famous. Who am I? I'm not Oprah, but I've never done the apps. Like I've never even been single. I was on Plenty of Fish and OK Cupid for a hot minute in
isn't
college.
Plenty of Fish the Jesus-y one? No.
I think that's Christian Mingle, but
Oh, I was just, you know what? I think it's because it's a fish, and I think of Jesus with the fish.
yeah,
So maybe
yeah.
that's why I
So
thought that.
yeah, I was on there for a little bit, and I did go on like a date, a couple of days, but it was so like it didn't work out so well. And I remember seeing the guy in like a movie theater like months after, and I was like, what are the odds? It's so embarrassing. But these two keep saying, they keep swiping no. I don't know, left or right, I'm not sure.
Left is no.
Left is no. They keep swiping left, and finally they're like, wait a minute, we need to decide who we should date for each other, because
Yeah.
we keep saying no. Oh no, her problem is she keeps saying yes to everybody, and his
Yes.
problem is he keeps saying no to everybody. So
Yeah.
he's going to narrow it down for her, and she's going to pick one for him, which I actually think is a really good thing. I think that like when your friends take over your dating apps, it like I think like it's a good thing, especially when people are like, mindlessly scrolling. It just gets like very monotonous, and maybe
Yeah.
you're not looking monotonous, and you're not looking for the right person for you. So I didn't hate this. How about you?
I totally agree. I think this is actually a really great move because it's kind of like being set up,
Mm-hmm.
but like it's one step down from having your friends set you up, I think. Because when you have
Mm-hmm.
your friends set you up, it's like they're all automatically saying this person is a green flag. This person is good. You don't have to worry that they're going to try to kill you. So I think having your friends like vet through some options is a really good idea, because sometimes you can get in your own way, especially when it
Yeah.
comes to like apps and stuff. Like I know for me personally, I've talked about this before, like my husband and I were on the same app and we possibly could have matched, except for the
Mm-hmm.
fact that when I had my specific settings to like to I didn't want to date anyone younger, and that would have like completely ruled him out. And I think that was a mistake looking back, because is a person like there is a possibility
Okay.
that a person who's a year or two younger than me is going to have the same maturity level. Like it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be extremely immature, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, that's so funny because like he's a year younger than you, right? Is it actually
Yeah.
even a full year?
It's a year and 2
Okay.
months.
But you usually dated older. Like that's what
I've always
you.
dated older, which
Yeah.
is why I thought that was because also in my head at the time, I was very much like, I'm looking to settle down. Like I'm not looking for someone who doesn't want something serious. Like
Yeah.
I felt like I was at a point in my life where the person I would want would be around my age or older.
Mhm.
And so I just think like if you have a person that knows you well enough to be like, no, I actually think this person is good for you, even if you're like, this is a thing I would have like, oh no, I don't like that haircut. Let me swipe left. You know what I mean? Like a haircut can be
Yeah,
changed.
exactly, exactly. I think it's just, like, so funny how like, very particular people can be, and I feel like this is where these 2, Rita and Javier, are really getting in trouble for the most part, because they go on the dates that the other chose for them, and
Mhm.
Javier is like, I think he finds like the guy cute, but then the guy stands up and is like way short. And this is like a bit that I've seen on Sex and the City. I believe that
Oh yeah.
Samantha
It was
experienced the
Samantha.
same thing, but then like he was a great lay, like he
Yeah.
challenged her. That was
I specifically remember the scene of he was so short that like he was basically boob height, and he like motorboats her and
yeah,
then like throws her on the bed. I don't know why I can recall
yeah,
exactly the scene, but that's what
yeah.
happens. Yeah.
Which I mean, like I think that like it turned out they obviously like they didn't. He was only like a one episode guy,
Any guy
but
with Samantha is a one episode guy, with except for like 3
Smith,
of them.
yeah,
They're not many that
or
stick around.
that yeah. There's like
Russell, is that his name? No. You know what I'm talking about. The really jerky guy.
there was a few that she dated. Um, Man, I miss Sex and the City. I don't care if there's like times where it's problematic because like I feel like that's just 90s shit, but that's such a
Yeah.
it's so funny and ridiculous. Anyway, I I do you think that Javier was in the wrong that he like ditched his date because the guy was so short? And
Yeah.
I
I
honestly don't think that Javier is that tall. I mean, maybe he is. Let me check the actor's
I
height.
really don't think he's that tall. Because I've seen him around like Ben and Nolan stuff, and I don't think he's that tall. But yeah, like obviously height is a huge thing. It always comes into play, especially it's like there's like a trope of like women won't date anyone who won't date men who are shorter than them. As someone who is like a particularly tall woman, it certainly comes up. My husband and I are like pretty much the same height. Like he likes to say he's a little taller, but if he is, it's by like a quarter of an inch. Like it's not much.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like I think I think there's a difference between swiping left on someone who's short and not even engaging
Mhm.
and like already being on the date. And like, if you're having a good time, their height should not matter. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
if I personally, I'm the type of person that like, I won't develop feelings for someone until like I'm already like understanding who they are as a person and their personality and like we're having fun. If at that point a person stands up and they're a little on the short side, like literally who cares?
Yeah. Well, so Ian Gomez is 5'7". So we can probably comfortably say, I don't know if like he was not, he was probably, he could have been kneeling. I don't really know.
Yeah.
But we could say that actor was maybe like 5'3" or something like that. Kind
Mhm.
of like a Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
So Daniel Radcliffe is a little guy. I
Short
think
king.
that he's a short king. I think that Javier is pretty prone to be picky. I think that we can understand that, especially because of how little he swiped prior. We're calling it swiping, but like,
Yeah.
you know, did a thumbs up from the video essays or diaries or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then Rita, that whole thing was egregious because they are on a date. They are hitting it off extremely well. They're talking about Coney Island. They're laughing it up. They're having a great date. And he like laughs at something that she says and then tries to high five her. And she's like, ew, you're too enthusiastic. And I was like, Rita, are you crazy? You had amazing chemistry with that guy. Amazing
Mhm.
chemistry. And like absolutely like that could have been her guy, or at least like a guy that she dated for a little bit, but she rejected him because he's too enthusiastic. Like she got
What
the
a
ick
stupid
over
thing.
what?
What a stupid thing. Like this is the toxicity that is dating. Is it's
Mhm.
like, well, you could be enthusiastic but not too enthusiastic. Like you can be show you're interested but not too interested. Like it comes up as desperate. This was way too much. Like seriously.
Yeah,
I
it's
love a
pretty
high five.
wild.
I'm very pro high five.
I know. I mean, yeah, like the guy was adorable. He was good looking. He
Yeah.
like they seemed to have a lot in common. It seemed like they both knew certain spots in Coney Island. They're probably like
Mhm.
both from Brooklyn or something. I was flabbergasted that she got the ick from him from this simple high five. She so much so she has to get up, call Javier, and they both ditch their dates. Like they are never going to find somebody if they're both this picky. And I
Yeah.
still don't understand. Like I know that Samuel was like kind of unkind about mommy and her mystery sickness, but mommy's still alive, so maybe he was like rightfully so to not be so pressed about the cat. But like I cannot believe that we spent 3 seasons with like Javier like going to wherever to be with Samuel and marrying him and like the baby adoption. Like, thank God that Felicity didn't go through with like being a surrogate for Samuel and Javier's baby. If Javier was just going to like jump and leave at any sign of inconvenience to him, I don't know. He is honestly I mean, like, I know he still has funny lines at sometimes, but like, I think that the show, like so many shows in the 90s do, get to a point that they make their funny characters into a caricature and then they become like annoying or stupid. I'm thinking like Joey from Friends. Like Joey from Friends at the last season just became like a dummy. And it was like Joey was like always like kind of dummy, but not like stupid dummy.
I
You know what
think
I
Eric
mean?
in Boy Meets World had like a similar
Eric,
situation.
yes,
And it's like,
yes.
it's very frustrating because with Javier specifically, I think the problem they have is that they've taken what is a side character and a character who like comes in with a quippy line
Yeah,
or like maybe gives Felicity some advice and is her boss, right? Like all of those things. And now it instead have like integrated him fully into the friend group and are trying to give him like full blown stories that
yeah,
like I just don't think we need. Like, I was fine with Javier as like a smaller side character because now we're at the point where I'm like, this grown adult man is like living with all these like young 20 somethings, like going to a school dance with them, which we will get to. And like, they're giving him too much. Like, he was fine when he was Javier, a little side character who married Samuel. Like, they're doing too much with him, and it's over the top in a way that doesn't really work for me. I completely agree with you. It's like, why? Like, there's so many times where I'm like, wait, why is Javier here? Like, it just doesn't make a ton of sense. And like, if they were gonna, I wish they would have kept him as like, you know, Jean and DeLuca manager, whatever. He still gives his advice to Felicity. He still gives advice to Benjamin, but he does become friends with Rita, and like maybe we get like a little side story with him and Rita every once in a while. Like all of that worked for me. I don't know. They're like, really, I think they're also like at the point where they're like, we're 4 seasons in, let's do something bigger with Javier, and it's just not really working.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's been I think like he is like a beloved character.
Yeah,
but I think that at the end of the day, like he doesn't fit into like a bunch of college kids, a college show, but this is barely a college show, so whatever. Just like not loving Javier this season in particular. Like, I mean, he still has like the one-liners. Like, I love every single time he says crunch. Like, I think it's
so good.
It's so cute. Like, I love when he does that. I love
Benjamin.
Mommy. I love Benjamin. I love Lionel. I love Mommy. Like, I love like a lot of what he says and a lot of what he does at times, but I don't know. I think like you said it best. Like, I think that he's a fantastic side character, and sometimes our side characters that just provide like commentary, kind of like the audience's opinion when they're not able to give their opinion. Like, he says, like, I think like that's where the observer is where he's best suited.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Okay, let's talk about Noel and Sean and them going into this.
Okay.
Please.
So like, this is pretty interesting too, because I think that, I mean, Sean is an asshat and continues to be an asshat like throughout the season as well. And then also in this particular situation. However, I'm going to give him a compliment first. He is it is a particular talent to cold call / obtain clients. I think that is Sean's remarkable talent. I think that he's a good salesperson. Like, back in the day, he would be a very good like door-to-door salesman. He would be the guy with the briefcase that goes away and is like doing his sales calls, and then he's gone for 3 months at a time and is having affairs in every city. Like, that is
Sean.
God. That's Sean. That is yeah. So he's so good. Like, the fact that he can sell somebody on anything is incredible. However, I think that like obtaining the client and keeping the client is 2 completely different things. And when he was talking over Noel in the sales pitch to the website guy, I was like, I'm going to strangle you and set you on fire, Sean. You are being so annoying. Who the fuck cares if the client doesn't like a little snowman guy? Basically, I mean, you all watched the show, but Sean finds a potential client for a website that Noel can make. He's integrating himself into Noel's graphics company, and the guy owns like a sports store, and Noel's going to make a website for the guy. Even though Noel said that he wanted more time, I actually do think it's not a terrible idea or a terrible thing that Sean was like, no, we can make this happen, because Noel was actually able to make it happen, and then he closed the deal.
Yeah, I mean, guess my thing was like, I feel like now Sean has set them up with unrealistic expectations, though. Like, so if the client comes back to Noel and is like, okay, I have another job for you, blah, 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 blah. And it's another thing that has like this, like it takes longer than they think it's going to. I feel
Yeah.
like it, Sean is making promises that aren't his department to deliver on. Because I agree with you. Sean is a salesperson through and through. He's really, really good at that. He's really good at getting his foot in the door, at persevering, right? He has this like determination to make things work that is really admirable.
Yeah.
But he also then is trying to control all of it when Noel is like the expert in terms of the web design. And on top of that, you have to remember, like in sales, the customer is always right. Like if the guy doesn't like the snowboarder, who cares?
Who
Take
cares?
the snowboarder out. Like he's getting all like butthurt and a little bit of like an egomaniac. And I partly think that's because he's like an inventor, right? Like and you put all of yourself into what you're inventing. And so I think, of course, then when something doesn't work, like you take it as like a personal affront. So Sean was really getting on my nerves this episode, like to the point where I was so supremely frustrated with him that I couldn't believe Noel was like, I want to be in business with you. I'm like, why? Why do you?
Yeah. Well, because I mean, in my opinion, I totally agree. Like he was really insufferable and really annoying. I hate Schmegan as a brand. I hate that he inserted himself. I do think like providing, I think like realistic expectations, right? Like we can provide you a mock-up of what it could look like.
Right.
I think that's okay. But being like, we can develop a whole website within 24 hours is unrealistic. I totally agree.
Because while you're sleeping, Noel is going to be the one coding HTML.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that the reason why Noel needs Sean is because Sean can do the things that Noel can't do.
Yeah.
Noel is never going to be the guy that goes out there, puts himself out there, like tries to get the clients. Like I like the partnership because Sean can pick up the slack where Noel can't. And then obviously Sean has like ideas. Maybe they're not always good ideas, but he does have ideas, but Noel's able to execute them, which Sean obviously doesn't have that talent to do. So I actually don't hate the partnership, but I think that Sean needs to respect Noel's timing, that like to present a product that he is proud of. And I think that he needs to put his ego aside. And if an idea doesn't fly with one of their clients, then it's like water off a duck's back. Like who cares? If you don't like my idea, who the fuck cares? It's really about I'm in interior design. There are times where the client picks fabrics that I think are the most revolting things I've ever seen in my life. Like it's disgusting to me. And I sometimes they pick combinations of things that I think is the ugliest thing that I've ever seen. It makes my eyes bleed. But if they like it, then it doesn't matter. I can give my opinions. I can say, you know what, like my preference would be this. Like more of like a solid color rather than this pattern. But if you like this, then perfect. You're the one that's gonna live with it. And the sports guy, the sports store guy, is the one that's going to live with his website. So then who the fuck cares if it's not something that excites you? It doesn't matter. Like, yeah, maybe you don't like my ideas, or maybe I work on something and you think it's bad. It's fine. I mean, like, I think like the issue is that so many artists, and I see this with my boss, when so many artists get so butthurt when their stuff gets rejected, that like you need somebody who's like more like impartial, or like, you know, I don't know, like I never get offended but I don't consider myself an artist, and that's why my boss considers herself an artist, and that's why she gets like offended so often when her stuff doesn't get approved. And it's just like, who the fuck cares? But once again, it's not my stuff, it's not my product. But then again, like, I'm not an artist, I have nothing to sell people. I think the move needs to be Sean is the one that gets their foot in the door and is at like sales meetings. And then from mock up to the rest of it, let Noel handle it, because that is Noel's department, right? You need to like divide and conquer in a way, and make like the biggest thing about
working in partnerships and especially like small companies is making sure that everyone is playing to their strengths.
Yeah.
So like that is what they need to do, and hopefully they will, and they can make this work. Because on the bright side, Noel is getting work and it seems like it's going well. So that's great news. And I think Sean also needs this because his inventions aren't exactly panning out. So
No,
you know.
no. And I think that I like that Sean is saying that, like, I want to be more career focused. Like, he wants to have a career, which is great. Like, I think that that is, these inventions and these jobs are really good. They can be a side thing, but if like you want to establish yourself professionally, then you're going to need something a little bit more stable, or you're going to be like, what, Stew Pickles and then blow up your basement all the time. You know what I mean? I don't know how Dee Dee always put up with Stu's shit.
I don't know either.
Because she's just chilling, you know? She's just trying to take care of her 2 babies. And then we have fucking Stu in the basement blowing shit up all the fucking time with his stupid toys and inventions, right?
CPS is gonna come take those kids away with all those explosions happening.
They never did. They never did.
Yeah. No one. I never seen a single person change Tommy Pickles' diaper. That's all I'm saying.
That's so true. Tommy Pickles changed his own diaper more than his parents did. Yeah. Grandpa Lou's sleeping on the couch all the time. Who the fuck knows where Drew is? He's like in Depression Valley. I don't know.
Okay, so that's it for Sean and Noel. Let's talk about Belicity, because
oh my gosh,
it really truly feels like we spent 0 episodes with them actually being broken up.
It's so annoying.
Like, we start this episode,
yeah,
and Ben apparently over the past few weeks has just been showing up, just been stopping by to like tell Felicity things late at night. And if I'm her, I'm like, bro, the fuck are you doing here? Like, seriously, again? Like, it is such mixed signals that he keeps dropping by, and like, it's very obvious that he needs to lean on someone for support, and he is choosing Felicity to be that person. But also, she's your ex-girlfriend, and like, it's very complicated. And his whole thing is he can't forgive Felicity for what happened, right? Like, he's like, I can't move on from it. And it takes...
Then get out of her door.
Yes, then stop showing up at her door. Especially because, like, what about what's her face? I can't even remember her name. Lauren, Rachel, who cares? The woman
Lauren,
who
I think.
What is it?
I think it's Lauren. I think
it is
right.
Lauren.
I think so.
What the hell happened to Lauren? Right? Like, you fucked her, and you seemed to like be, I don't know, moving towards something, but then the fire happened, and you called Felicity, and now you're back on Felicity's doorstep. Like, what is going on?
Yeah. Did we give the point to Ben last episode? Because if we
did, we gave it to Noel.
Okay, cool. Because I was gonna say revoke.
Oh, no, we did. You know, we
revoke.
Gave it to Noel.
Revoke. Okay, we gave it to Noel. Okay. Yeah. All right. I was gonna say we had to revoke it if it went to Ben, because I remember firmly being like, he put up boundaries. Noel put up boundaries. It was
Noel put up boundaries. Okay. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Doesn't.
And then like the crux of the issue comes when, like, okay, Ben's dad still needs a liver, and like him and his dad are having this heart to heart all about Felicity, about how like he can't forgive her and all this other stuff, and his dad is kind of giving him the speech of like, life's too short, like you're gonna hurt each other, you know, a million times, but it's about forgiveness. And I'm like, well, rich of you to say you've hurt your wife many times, sir. I know.
Like, coming from him, who I believe cheated before.
Was abusive. Like, the list goes on.
Yeah,
you know?
Like, Ben, like, you're going to listen to your dad on this? Like, do you want to be, I don't know. It's so... He starts to change his mind. Like, oh, maybe I do want to be with Felicity. Felicity basically puts up her boundary. Like, she's like, if you said that you wanted to get back together right now, I absolutely would. But that is not what you're saying. So, like, please stop coming around, which automatically makes him be like, yes, I do want to be with Felicity. So that was kind of annoying. They get back together. They wake up and are like sleepy and happy. Oh no, never mind. She goes on a plane because she's supposed to go home.
She's
for winter
about to
break.
leave, yeah,
And
to
then
go back to
he
Palo Alto.
pulls a Fran Drescher and is like, I'm going to go to the airport. Which, didn't we do that already? I don't know.
We constantly be chasing people down at the airport.
Yeah.
The worst part of this decision they made for the show is that because it's the snow. It's the snow that makes Ben change his mind, right? Like everybody's running in the snow. There's snowfall. It's beautiful. They love it. Why couldn't we have made up in the snow? That's far more romantic.
That would have been, but I mean, the flight's fine. It's just a little overdone. Like,
Yeah,
I think
but
like everything has a Fran Drescher at an airport.
yeah, and so this is his. They get back together, but then the snowstorm unfortunately makes it so that Ben's father's liver transplant that was supposed to be coming in has now been canceled due to inclement weather, and so he's not going to get the liver that he needs. And we
Yeah.
get into this whole family situation. Ben's mom is a match and wants to, you can, if you didn't know, you could cut off part of your liver to give to someone else and you can be sustained. It will like grow back or regenerate or something. Like
Mhm.
you can live with like half a liver. And so she wants to donate. And we know Ben is still like power of attorney. He's still in charge over his dad's health. And now his dad is back on a ventilator. So yet again, he is unable to make decisions for himself. And Ben wants to say, no, you've done enough for my dad. Like you've been there for him time and time again. This will just be another thing he's taken from you. But his mom is insistent and really wants to do it. And finally, he agrees. His mom runs into complications during the surgery, not his dad.
Yeah, kind of like when we were talking about Julie and that donor situation. Typically, the donor, their surgery is a lot harder than the donee.
Right. And so she's like bleeding out or whatever, but she does pull through. She does make it.
I was nervous for a hot minute there.
I really thought we may be leading to a situation, and we still could be because we're only halfway through the season. I thought we were leading to Ben's dad's death.
I was thinking that was going to happen, honestly, especially like all the times that he absolutely was like out in a coma.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, his body could reject the liver.
There's still plenty of things that could happen.
Then, like, I don't know. Like, I just feel very like pulled back and forth. You know what I mean? Like dragged through the mud a little bit with all of Ben's storylines because I just feel like it's just a lot. And then I'm not so happy that him and Felicity got back together so quickly. It just is like they are constantly doing this. It's just getting very annoying.
And I felt like you and I were feeling like, okay, after the fire, Felicity is wanting Noel to call. And then, okay, swoop, that's out the window.
Yeah.
And like, what the heck happened with all that stuff? And I feel like what's more concerning, honestly, is this conversation that we get between Felicity and Ben's mom, where she is telling Felicity about there's one night where she was trying to comfort Ben after Ben's father hit her with a plate. And so she kept saying, it's okay, like trying to comfort him. But like what he understood was like, oh, this is just what love is. Like that this is, that was his introduction into love, right? And we know all this stuff that is learned from your childhood like sticks with you. And if that is like your first example of what love is, you're probably going to have a little bit of a difficult time with romantic relationships. Maybe if you go to therapy, not so much, but you know what I mean? Like without any help, you probably are going to struggle to really have a good grasp on what like healthy love is.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
That was really heartbreaking to hear because I mean, we knew, right? We knew Ben's dad was not a great guy. And like, obviously who knows if he was drunk when he did this, not that it's an excuse, but like a sober person, you know what I mean? Like someone when they're drunk, if they're going through a rough time could do really awful things. And it's just heartbreaking. And I can only imagine being Ben trying to say to your own mom, like you've given him enough, like enough is enough.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I both feel like Ben needs a lot of support right now for everything he's going through, but also I don't necessarily think that support should be an ex-girlfriend that you're constantly getting back together with and breaking up with.
Yeah, I'm fully off on this relationship. And like, I mean, it's kind of good to be a team Noel because I feel as though at this point, I just feel like Noel is just probably better for, I mean, I'm still on Felicity needs to be with absolutely nobody.
Yeah.
But I'm still like, I'm feeling like better about me winning. Is it a win? I feel like we're all losers, but
We're all losers anyway, but
we're
yeah,
all
you would
losers.
win if she
I
ends
mean,
up with Noel.
do you see that? Like at this point in the series, do you think that she's gonna end up with Ben?
I do.
You do? Okay.
I think you're right in terms of the whole like she'll end up with one person for the fake finale and then another person or no one for the real
Or
finale.
or the reverse, maybe
She's no
like
one and then
she
someone.
chose somebody and then there's an uproar because they were like, we've been doing this for 4 seasons. Oh no, people like the original finale better. I don't know. Oh yeah,
Well,
maybe they're like, no, like she chooses nobody. Everybody's like, good for you,
Riot.
Felicity. That's what you
Yeah.
needed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
then
then they're like, you know what? Just kidding. We want to do 5 more episodes, and then they're like, just kidding. Like Felicity, does need to be with
yeah.
a man.
I think where I stand with the Belicity of it all is I think that currently they should not be together. I think Ben is going through a lot right now. And I think he needs to help himself before he can then, be with
Mhm.
somebody else.
Yeah.
But I think if we were to check in on Ben in a couple of years, I feel like maybe then he's like healed enough, healthy enough to maintain like a really solid relationship. And I don't think him and Felicity are necessarily bad for one another.
I
I
also
think
think that Ben is getting to a point where he is a better catch than Felicity is. I
yeah.
I think that Ben is like starting to be too good for Felicity.
I mean, I don't think you're wrong. Like he's doing well in school now. He's going to be a doctor. Like he has a lot going for him at the moment. And
Yeah.
also, while we're talking about this, I feel like I am so shocked. Like Pacey Witter could never at the fact that Ben and Noel have seemingly made up and Ben didn't punch him once. Like the only time they've been in a fist fight was when they got drunk playing like video games. Like it's wild to me that we have so many calm and measured conversations between Noel and Ben in this episode.
Well, it's because Ben is not a bad guy. Like
No.
I think that he has like put him on a different path and he could become a violent alcoholic like his father. But like I also think that he's like actively working against being that. And I also think that he is bla- he's not, because I was going to say, like, you know how we always say like don't blame the other woman, blame like your significant other, and then like when girls get cheated on they always blame the other woman, right? It's like the same thing. Like Ben
Yeah.
shouldn't be really blaming Noel, kind of like he should be like putting the blame on Felicity, but he's not even doing that. Like I think that like Ben, because of all the trauma and shit going on in his life, he is just like putting his head in the sand around everything. He's like, it's like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter because like if I don't have these people, then I don't have anybody. I'm like, he's like, I'm almost losing my dad. I almost lost my mom for like a minute when she wasn't doing well. Like if I let go of Felicity or this friend or that friend or potential friend, then I'm gonna have nobody in my life. Like it's almost like that sort of desperation. Like you're so afraid to lose anybody that you grasp onto everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I could totally see like an alternate universe Ben that instead of choosing like a healthy outlet for all the frustration and anger that he probably has over like
Mhm.
multiple things going on in his life right now, I could see a world where instead of getting back together with Felicity and like going out and having fun with his friends, he gets like really drunk and makes like
Yeah.
really, really poor decisions. So I'm happy that he didn't choose to punch Noel and that they did make up. But I also was like, wow, I'm surprised. Like I didn't, because I think in a Dawson's Creek world, we would have seen some fights. Like we would have seen
Yeah.
some punching.
Well,
Um,
Pacey loves to punch.
PC did love to punch. But the other thing we need to talk about in terms of these stories is just how many times we heard the pinking piano, right? The little
Oh,
like,
yeah.
why is this song while we were
I can't hear
Please.
you. I can't hear you over the noise.
It's too much, everyone.
So
Why?
this,
What is this?
I thought everything in this world was sacred. This was Noel and Ruby's special music, and now it's everybody's music.
And it plays constantly.
Constantly. It's a headache. It's a nightmare. It's not good. It's everywhere. I think that you said that you fell asleep during this episode hearing this music and you woke up like an hour later and this music was still playing.
It was one of those things where I fell asleep watching the episode, and I then woke up and had to finish the episode, and like I only had like 15 minutes left, and it still somehow managed to play that song like 3 different times within a 15-minute span.
Okay, look, I don't need that musical cue to tell me that I'm sad. I'm already depressed because I have to watch this bullshit. Like, I don't need somebody to tell me to be sad. Trust me, I'm sad. I don't have any problems being sad.
Well, the worst part is that it plays during moments that are supposed to be happy. Like, we're watching literally everyone have the best time on the dance floor, and the sad music is playing. It's like, what are we doing here?
That couldn't have happened. That could have happened.
It was so stupid. And then they all leave, and it's like snowing out, and Felicity does the like requisite, like, I wonder where we'll all be a year from now.
Well, I wonder. Okay, it's like I can't.
The show is smelling its own farts. The show is like, we know
smart.
we're ending soon, so we're gonna have to really hit it home, like that this is ending soon, and we want to just wax poetically and play our little piano plinky plinky music.
I need a break.
Yeah.
Maybe this is an off-topic conversation, but I am literally losing my mind here. I can't. Like, everyone's so annoying.
Oh, here, hold on.
So...
There, this will really drive home the point. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
Everyone's so annoying. It makes me so annoyed. I get so grumpy. I just want a break. I just want to be comforted. I want a cocoon. You know?
Yeah.
Everybody deserves
a
little...
Yeah.
To be treated.
And do you see how appropriate this music is while you're talking like this instead of, dancing?
Yeah. I want to be treated like a special baby princess, and special baby princesses don't have to listen to this.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, what do you want to do first? Do you want to say who the winner is, or do you want to give our updated character rankings?
Noel's my winner, like without a doubt.
Oh yeah, in the episode. Okay.
Yeah. Without a single doubt in my mind, Noel's the one. He secured that job. He went to the party even though he felt like a loser without a date.
You're the guidance counselor, bro. Like, maybe you shouldn't be going to a student date.
No, well, yeah, maybe, but like,
it's weird.
Sean was
also, Sean is like 30. You should really not be going to the dance. It's fine. No, I agree with Noel. The thing is, if Ben and Felicity didn't get back together, I would have argued for Ben, but like he did dumb shit and then it pissed me off, so he's not getting the point. Okay, let's do our updated character rankings. So we have 7 characters we're including. I did not include Trevor because truthfully,
my god, hold up. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. So there was a scene where Felicity comes in to Ben and is like, Sean and Trevor are here to talk to you. And then Ben's like, I don't want to see them right now. And then in my head, I was like, who the fuck is Trevor? And I was like, oh, wait. It took me like a couple minutes, but I was like, oh, yeah, it's Ben's friend. But I cannot remember who that man is.
Because it's inconsequential and he's also pretty dumb from what we've learned.
Who is he?
So the characters that we are ranking are Felicity, Javier, Sean, Megan, Noel, Ben, and Elena. Sarah, do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I can go first.
All right.
We're
go from bottom to top.
Gosh. Okay. I will say that my bottom 3 are like way down. And then I have like you go up, and then my 4 is there, and then you go up, and then by 3. So
Got it.
that's
So we have tiers of I really hate these people, then a
Yeah.
middle tier, and then I really like these people.
yeah.
Okay.
I would say I think Elena's on the bottom purely because she's a nothing. I don't think about her. I don't miss her. She's never had a good storyline a day in her life. It's not her fault. I want to like her. She's dating somebody I don't even remember who he is.
Yeah.
So she's nothing to me. Absolutely nothing. Then I have Javier. Because of issues that I have stated previously
Mm-hmm.
in this episode before, I feel like his little charm is wearing off. And I just feel like I don't know what he's doing here. Then I have Sean because he's annoying as fuck and he's annoying to Megan. He's annoying to everybody.
Yeah.
He's annoying to Noel. He almost ruined the job. And so there's my bottom three. Like I can live a life without them right now and be okay.
Okay.
And I think it's because I don't know. Then you go up and I have Felicity. Felicity is pissing me the fuck off this season. She's god awful. She is terrible. Absolutely terrible. She might be worse than season 1 Felicity. She might be worse.
Wow. Okay.
Because she should know better and she does not. You know, at least like season 1 Felicity, oh, she's 17. This is her first time away. Like she doesn't know much. She has a crush. You know, this girl
Crunch, yeah.
She's crunch. And this girl is so fucking annoying. So bad. An idiot, an absolute idiot. Then I have Ben, who I do like Ben. I do like Ben, even though he should be an EMT. He's too stupid to be a doctor, even though he's doing it. But he's too dumb. He's a dummy dumb, big dummy dumb dumb. But and he gets back with Felicity, dummy dumb dumb dumb. And his storylines are like kind of sad this season because of his dad, and I feel like that's sad and dumb. So, but then we have some good stuff. I'm going to put Noel next.
Okay.
And I think Noel's having a fantastic season after a couple of clunker seasons. He's a star. He's either making horrible decisions, but is being hilarious about it, or he's really trying to better himself. He's setting appropriate boundaries. He's becoming like a freshly hatched egg. I've loved Noel this season. It is good to be Team Noel. Don't you wish you took that deal with me many moons ago? Probably not, but I love having Noel. And then number 1 is Megan because Megan's great. She's just a great character. I really liked her look this episode. I think that like we stepped away from being like an old crazy bat that is like trying to be like Jackie O and is actually looking very pretty this episode. Liked her, loved her last episode with her sister. I think that it's like very fun to see her perspective over Felicity. Just really like Megan. Megan and Noel are clearly my 2 favorites, and there's no question about it. They're the best.
Okay. My list. So we just did our mid season 4 rankings for Buffy, and we both kind of said we love all these characters. So even the ones at the very bottom, we're like, we're not saying they're bad characters. We just like other characters better.
Yeah, I was like, by no means, like I said, like by no means, like do I like dislike this bottom person?
Right. Felicity, it's almost the opposite.
It is. No,
all of them are kind of pissing me off to different degrees. So I just want to just say, like, to start, that certain characters, if I meh them, end up more in the middle because there are other characters I loathe, you know, or there's another instance of like, I don't really like what the show is doing with this character versus loving the character themselves. So the very bottom, and it could be recency bias because this episode seriously sent me off the fucking edge. But like Sean needs to get a grip on his life, okay? Like I'm so done with him. I'm finding him to grate on my nerves every single episode. And it's almost like every episode he comes up with a new way to grate on my nerves. And I think part of it is he's so set on the Schmegan stuff that I like miss the times when he would just come up with a new invention every episode. Like I'm just so tired of it. So Sean is at the bottom for me. Then I have Javier. And the thing is I was shocked to hear you have Javier this low as well, Sarah, because it's just like so frustrating. Like, I don't like where they've gone with this character. I feel like we're giving him storylines he doesn't need, and we're making him into this character that he wasn't originally. I liked him better when he just had the one-liners, right? Like, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan right now. And then I have Felicity. I don't really like her like dry, flat, straight hair. I know that's a silly thing to harp on, but it's really getting under my skin because Carrie Russell's hair is just so gorgeous.
Yeah, Jamie mentioned it last week, and I didn't think that I found it that egregious last week, but this week it looked greasy and
it
dry.
looks greasy on the top and dry. How?
Yeah.
How are you doing that? But beyond her hair, no, Felicity feels aimless this season.
Yep.
And I'm finding it very frustrating because as a character, I've always felt like she's been very determined and very emotionally intelligent. And just like, you know, I feel like she's always had her wits about her in a certain way. And the pinata, like, what are we doing? Like, it doesn't make it make sense. And especially the whole thing with the fire and then Noel, but now we're just like back together with Ben. Like, I don't know what we're doing with this character, and I'm not enjoying her really.
Yeah.
Next we have more of the meh tier, which is Elena, because I love Elena. Like, as a principal, I love this character. But then again, where the fuck is she? Her one storyline was like all about Trevor being dumb as rocks. Like, I need more for Elena. And I'm kind of upset actually that we're not getting more of her because the show is almost over. And I feel like she's earned more of a storyline. Like, we took her storyline and we gave it to Javier. And it's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Next, I have Noel, because I agree with you, Sarah. He's had a really good season, especially more recently, right? He's getting his life together. He's going to therapy. So he's really climbed in my rankings. I still think like the beginning of the season, he was struggling a little bit more. Like, I was getting annoyed with him, like poking around Felicity constantly. It's like, oh my God, Noel, stop sniffing her fucking ass like a dog. Like, please.
Yeah, but she allowed it, and that's what is.
They're both bad. Yeah. So that's why he falls third on this list. And then I waffled a little bit as to like my 1 and 2, because again, like, I don't feel super strongly about either one of these people being at number 1 because they've annoyed me at certain times.
Mm-hmm.
But I put Megan in second and Ben in first. Megan is less annoying than Sean, and I do sometimes like her new style, and I did really enjoy her stuff with her sister. But then again, I also feel like she's more sidekicky. Like, I wish she had more to do on her own, because there are times when she's a really great friend to Felicity, right? Like when she's like, oh, don't ever doubt my love spells. Like, that was cute.
Oh, yeah. Which, by the way, Megan, a better witch than Willow, confirmed. Without a doubt.
It's so sad. Yeah. If Megan was there, Rat Amy would not be a rat any longer.
Oh, absolutely.
Actually, everyone would be rats if Megan were around.
Absolutely.
And then number 1, I have Ben. I feel like Ben is also having a really great season. I think if I look past him getting back together with Felicity,
if I look past the biggest Ben storyline.
No, that's not I would argue his dad, like, being on
so?
death's door is like one of his biggest storylines. But like, besides that, like, he's doing well in school. Like, he's passionate about being a doctor. I feel like he was trying to put up some boundaries with Felicity. Obviously, those came crashing down. But like, I do think Ben is trying. And again, like I said, like, Megan and Ben are kind of interchangeable at my top spot. And also, like, I'm not loving any of these characters anyway. But that's kind of where I stand. And it was a tough ranking. It really was.
That's fair. Yeah. I don't think it's been this hard to rank people. In total honesty, I ranked the characters and then I counted and I was like, oh, I only have 6. Who I'm missing? Guess who the fuck it was? Felicity Porter. Felicity. I forgot to rank Felicity. That's terrible.
That's the show.
That's
name of the
show.
show.
The whole show. I forgot to rank her.
Yeah.
That's revolting. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Just like that stupid ass pinata art. Absolutely terrible.
I hated the pinata art.
It was really bad. Again, I was looking at it and I was like, you really ugly. I hate it. Thank goodness it got burnt.
It was so bad. Okay, let's get some feedback from the listeners. Let's hear what Temmie has to say.
Hi, ladies. At 31:50 in this episode, Felicity is working on a crossword puzzle in the waiting room. She says, 12 letters, really bad TV show. It has to be Dawson's Creek. It could be Gilmore Girls, but
Rude.
remember when Eve compared Felicity to Dawson in season 3 of Dawson's Creek?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just payback, I guess. Someone in the Felicity writer's room must really have disliked Dawson's Creek. So my question is, how do you subtly show disdain? Also, how do you deal with aggressive behavior, passive-aggressive behavior, and ghosting? Thanks. Bye.
Interesting.
Okay.
I think that for me, I do not. Do you think it's obvious when I dislike somebody? Secretly dislike somebody? I don't think so. I think
No,
pretty.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think I am pretty good at being. I'm a fake ass bitch. I'm very good at like putting on a show, being really, really nice, and then like closing the door and be like, fuck you, fuck that person. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at it. I also, so that's what I think. I think like you're a smidge more, you're much more real than I.
I think it's more obvious if I don't like someone. I will say with the caveat that like if it's a work setting, I try to make it less obvious if I dislike someone, but the signs will still be there. If there's a message sent to you in a professional setting from me that does not have an exclamation point or like an emoji or something else attached to it, I probably am not pleased with you at the moment. And I know that sounds silly, but it is the truth because I will not be like overtly like rude to someone. There's signs that I don't like them. And it's like, I will keep my messages as short as possible because I just don't want to engage.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say it's probably a little bit more obvious if I don't like someone, specifically because if it's in person, I don't know that I have the best poker face. I feel like it's pretty evident if I'm unhappy or uncomfortable with something.
Yeah.
So
I'm like I'm just a fake. I'm just so fake at times. But
I wouldn't call it fake. I would call it like you're good at masking it, whereas I am not. And like I think both of those things can be valuable in different settings, right? If someone is looking to get like exactly how I feel, well then easily they could see it on my face. But like there are times when it's helpful or useful to not necessarily show what you're thinking at all times.
Well, my life mission has always been kill them with kindness. Like I think that that's what I'm best at. Like whenever I have felt that somebody doesn't like me, I'm overtly nice to them.
You're on a mission to get them to turn that opinion around.
Yeah, I'm pretty. Yeah,
you're bothered.
I'm aggression. I hide like a little baby, terrified. Like I do not do well with aggression. Like that is what I've dealt with like my mother in particular. Like she's very quick to anger, yelling, that sort of thing. And I've never dealt well with it. So I definitely shrink down when it comes to aggression. I don't like raised voices or anger or anything. So I'm really bad with aggression.
Yeah, I'd say I'm better with aggression than passive aggressive behavior because when someone's passive aggressive, I just get annoyed. Like I wish someone would get aggressive versus passive aggressive because at least then aggressive, it's almost like they're giving you permission to then also be aggressive, if that makes sense. Because I much more, we talked about this before, like I'm much quicker to anger than I am to be like sad. Like I find anger to be an easier emotion to access than sadness, and who the hell knows what that says about me. But I find passive aggressive behavior to be supremely frustrating.
No, it is.
All I want is someone to just say what they are thinking. And like, let's not be around the bush. Like, just tell me how it is and I'll get over it. I'll move on. I'll do whatever. But I'd much rather that than someone be like hemming and hawing, right? Indecision drives me up a wall. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you married a Libra. That's right.
It's really great sometimes.
Yeah. And then like I've never really been, I mean, like not ghosted by a man, but like ghosted by friends, and I don't handle it well. Honestly, whenever people are not nice to me, I don't really handle anything well. So I'm a very sensitive girl at times.
Okay, we got 2 emails from Jamie. One is a reply from last week's podcast, and I wanted to read this because I think it's really interesting. So Jamie says, I'm going to take an unpopular stance and I'm going to defend Felicity a bit. You started the podcast by praising Ben for sticking to his boundaries by not calling Felicity back. However, the only reason Felicity called him was because he called her. All she was doing was returning his call. It was Ben's idea to move on, which is fair considering she cheated on him. Felicity accepted his decision and even graciously offered Lauren her ticket so she and Ben could see the play together after Javier tried to set them up.
Yep.
But apparently when Ben said, let's move on, he only meant it for himself because the moment with another guy, he is back to calling her. If calling her was a mistake, then he should have been man enough to admit it. He 100% should have called her back and apologized for the call, told her it was a mistake and that it will never happen again. But in typical Ben fashion, he avoids difficult or uncomfortable conversations with women like the plague. He did it with Julie in season 1 when he broke up with him, then with Felicity at the beginning of season 2. He even did it with Avery when he came back from Southampton and just stopped taking her calls after he decided to get back together with Felicity. I find Ben's avoidance to be downright cowardly. I also disagree that it was okay for Ben to call Felicity after finding out about the fire. Noel made it perfectly clear that Felicity was fine, just a little shook up. Ben is aware that she has Elena and Javier there, and I'm sure once Megan finds out, she'll either call or go to see her. Felicity is not lacking in people supporting her. Ben calling was more for himself than for Felicity. So what do you have to say to that, Sarah? That is Jamie's defense of Felicity.
I mean, it's all great points, right? It's all great points. Yeah, it's just, I mean, it is. And I think like we kind of pushed back onto Ben in this episode. Like, I think that I was annoyed with him for being wishy-washy this episode. So I hear you. I think that, I don't know, they're just both being annoying. So
yeah. And Jamie also made another point in terms of like Felicity bettering Ben and like being a good thing for him. She points out that like Felicity has always seen Ben as capable, even when he didn't see that about himself. She was the one to push him to do the EMT school when Sean laughed about it. When he decided to go pre-med and asked her if it was stupid, Felicity told him no, and she thought it would be great. She even defended him to Elena. So like there's a lot of good points that Jamie is making here, and I agree. I think there's a possibility though that like someone could make you recognize something in yourself, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're always going to be a healthy person for you to be around. Like I think Ben can learn stuff about himself via Felicity, but that doesn't mean that they should be together.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear what DBK has to say. I'm sure rave reviews for Ben this episode.
What up, though, ladies? There's a lot to squeeze into this 2 minutes, so here we go. So the perfect pairing was Blumberg Crane. Do we like this pairing? Are we hoping to see more of this pairing? I'm not going to give it away, but I like this pairing. I'm interested to see what you think of the conversation Ben and his dad had, and then a super heartbreaking conversation between Felicity and Ben's mom later. I'm interested to see your guys' take on that one, because like just a crushing conversation for me to hear. Yeah. So my whole thing with the cheating thing, because I'm interested, because I feel like you guys are not happy about Felicity and Ben getting back together and being a couple, and maybe we're gonna ride this out to the end of the season. I don't think you guys are pleased with how this suddenly happened. I mean, it's been weeks supposedly, so it's been built up. But just for the record, I think the person that cheated can never do anything to like make it right to the person that got cheated on. So Felicity can never do anything to like make Ben forgive her for cheating. So it's all on like Ben if he wants to like move past that or forgive her.
Mm.
That's like my view on like the whole cheating thing.
Mhm.
So so I'm interested because like it is a pride thing for Ben, right? Like he doesn't think Felicity would cheat again. So like I kind of don't understand why he like. I think it's a different conversation if you think the person's like gonna treat you bad and like not respect you and like cheat on you again. And then so that's that. And then I guess that's it for this week. Oh yeah, and I'm sure it's just a coincidence, guy. 12 letters, really bad TV show. It's a coincidence that Dawson's Creek fits that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Anyway,
Mhm.
shots fired by Felicity. Peace.
I think it's really funny that it was a rebuttal because I like distinctly remember Dawson's
Yeah.
Creek making fun of Felicity. So it's really fun and cool and silly that they rebutted. I
Mhm.
love that. But I think it's an interesting point. Like I think that I think that if Ben can get past it, then like sure, like he can take Felicity back. I think like I wouldn't be mad if they both like took the time to like think about what they really want and then he forgave and they got back together. I think that's fine. I think it's just the will you call me? No, I won't call you, but I'll call you. Then will I call you back? And then we're together, but like I don't want to be together. Now I can't get past it. Like it's just like like I said before, like I just feel like I'm being like dragged around by my hair through the mud about what's happening. And it's like a little exhausting. But
Mhm.
that's my feelings on that. But like I think like everybody is different about the cheating thing. We talked about this on Buffy about when Willow cheated on Oz, and
Mhm.
it's really just like I, as a person, me, like I wouldn't be able to get past it. Like I could, or like I can mask myself to make myself pretend like I got past it because I want to be in the relationship, but deep down inside, I wouldn't be able to forgive. And I think like
Yeah.
everybody's different. But I don't really know a person that would be okay. And then my last thought is that it's actually very, very real for people of this age to get back together or break up and then like you have your friend like crying and like whining about the guy and then they get back together and then they break up again and then you're like there for your friend who's crying and whining about the guy. So like maybe if anything, if I have to really think about it, I'm getting annoyed because I've had friends that constantly did this at their age. And it was just like, okay, are we mad at the guy this week or no? Are we together with him?
Yeah.
We're back together? Like, I can't really say that much because I just know if you're going to get back together, then like, you're going to be upset that I said something ill about him. Like, maybe that's what is annoying me because it's so real. Like, have you had a friend like that like they would break up all the time and you would spend all this energy consoling them and then they would just get back together and you're like, well, then why
Yeah.
did I sit there for 2 hours listening to you whine and cry?
Yeah, and I was definitely the person who like would put my foot in my mouth and say the bad things and then be like, "Oh man, now they're back together again." Cuz again, like you said, I wouldn't mask enough. Yeah, the cheating thing is tough. I'm with you. I think I would have a hard time getting over it, but also I think where I'm more frustrated with the show is I don't know that we have heard like this is the reason I did this and it won't happen again because XYZ. Like I think the fact that it was with Noel like should give Ben some pause.
I
Like
mean,
he's still in
yeah,
their lives.
I
Like
know.
you know?
Say you will what you will about the Avery cheating thing, like it wasn't good by any means,
No, no.
but it was like almost a rando, right? Like I kind of feel like it's 10 times worse that's no it's not both are bad, but also it's like it's Noel. They had like a previous thing. They
previously dated. They're also super close.
Close.
Still.
They're-
Like he's
exactly.
constantly like being
There.
like, and here's a job for you,
and they're roommates.
and here's money for tuition. Like it's so uncomfortable. Yeah, it's a hot ass mess. But I mean, we'll see where this relationship goes. I don't know. And then we also did get an email from Jamie about this episode in particular. And Jamie says, I'm proud of Felicity for standing up for herself and calling Ben out on the games he's been playing. Although, despite how pissed I am at Ben, I did love all the reconciliation scenes. I thought their scene in bed was particularly adorable, and I wish we had got to see them go sledding. Maybe if Ben stops pissing me off, I might jump back on Team Ben. Also, I thought Carrie Russell looked gorgeous throughout this episode. However, I hated the scenes at the dance, especially the Noel apology. There is no way I buy these two ever being cool again. That is way too unrealistic for me. Also, for the record, I was not impressed with Noel in last week's episode, but I went on such a Ben rant, I decided to spare you my Noel rant. Him going into business with Sean is a horrible idea. Sean is not a good businessman. Are we surprised the Schmegan shirts aren't selling? One final thought. Felicity and Ben's mom shared a scene, and all I could think about was I wonder if Miss Covington knows that Mr. Covington tried to shove his tongue down Felicity's throat. Also, Ben is horrible at executing power of attorney. He respected none of his father's wishes. I will leave you with my character rankings. Number 1 is Felicity. I know it's been a rough season for her, but I still love her. Maybe if Ben and Noel didn't piss me off so much, she would go down. But for now, I'm still Team Felicity.
Crazy. That's a crazy take.
2 is Megan. 3 is Javier. 4 is Elena. 5 is Sean. And 6 are Ben and Noel tied for last place.
Jamie just hates the men, which is fine. Like, you know.
Yeah, why not?
The dick is sick. Like, it's bad. Not even good sick. Just horrible. They're kind of bad, but also they're kind of good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So that's our feedback, shit90spod.com or shit90spod@gmail.com if you want to send in your feedback. And next week, we're going to be covering season 4, episode 12, Future Shock. Are we jumping? No, we're not jumping in time. That'd be ridiculous. They haven't graduated.
That'd be fun.
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for us to have a time jump at some point, but I just don't see it happening next episode.
Maybe that's probably what's happening at 17. We're time jumping, and then she runs into one of the boys, and then or both of the boys. I don't know. I see it. I have a vision. We have what? 6 more episodes until the time jump. I mean, the episode ending. I don't know.
Was it 17 that was supposed to be the finale?
Yeah.
So yeah, we have 6 more episodes to go
Oh,
for the first finale.
We're getting close.
We're halfway through the final season. We're like nearing the end of our Felicity coverage.
Barreling through.
We're getting there. All right. Anything else, Sarah, that you would like the people to check out? Anything they should know about besides garage sales on a Saturday morning?
Yeah, I went garage sailing. I don't think I said it on the podcast, but
Oh, really? I thought we talked about it at the top.
no, it was before.
Oh, it may have been before we started recording.
Mhm. Yeah. I gotta go plant my flower seeds that I got.
Ooh, what kind of flowers did you get?
Who knows?
Oh,
Flowers.
is it like a wildflower bunch or something?
Kinda, yeah. I got it
Nice.
from my hairdresser's house.
Love that for you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, check everything else we have going on, shitonyspod.com, and we will be back next week to cover season 4, episode 12 of Belicity. Until then, everyone, have a good one. Bye.
Just ask. Shit 90 shows taught me.
Shit 90 Shows Taught Me was not filmed before a live studio audience.